have some updates with you. The first thing is, I finally I submitted my Scheherazade Ravel's Asie Polyrhythm step-by-step guide on Udemy. That is a hard work. It's a lot of work I prepared from last year. And after I recorded La Flûte Enchantée and Le Figaro, I started to prepare Asie. And while I was preparing the polyrhythm, because it's very difficult, I think, with so many polyrhythms, I was like, how do you count? And then especially in the orchestra score, you can see that the vocal line is sometimes different from the strings. Like for example, in figure number 6, the vocal line is 6/8 and the strings and other instruments is written in 6/8. So these things is very confusing. I was like, do I count in 2/4 or do I count in 6/8? So I thought to myself, maybe we should really look into the fundamental, and that is where I started to look into the polyrhythms. I didn't want to do the bandit technique, just go check online how people just count. Like, I want to go beyond that level, and how about I share it online, right? It is a hard work preparing the material. I really have a difficult time. I mean, I don't like to prepare the score because there's a lot of work. It's not just the score, actually the material. There's a lot of work, but that is what I want to challenge myself to prepare, to prepare an entire project yourself and complete it. Is a practice of completion, just like I want to complete the recording for Scheherazade, Ravel's Scheherazade, and also Panofka. I still have a lot of findings that I didn't put in. For example, the lyrics of Asie is violence in it, I realized. And the other thing is, other part of the finding, now I can't remember. And I'm going to collect all this information and write it down into an article or a post to share it as an external resources. If your students or whoever needs to know about polyrhythms, you can check it out. So now I want to transition into the next topic. Lazzari 30 Solfeggi Parlati. How do you say 30 in Italian? So basically in English it's called the 30 spoken solfeggio. I was amazed by, music score went through a process of evolution. This is a finding that I find it amazing, because the first time when I know about Panofka exercises, he actually advocated that solfeggio is going to stuck students from the tone production, because if you only think about what is the right solfege to sing, you will not be able to produce the sound, the tone that we should be producing as a singer. So he said, okay, we are going to just to sing ah. So that is a very clever method, and I agree a lot with him, because like I have a lot of students, they can sing do re mi fa sol la ti do. When they sing descending do ti la sol fa mi re do, they cannot sing the do ti la, they will sing do la sol. I don't know where they go. Sometimes we have to compromise certain things, and then for example we have to compromise the solfege, put it aside first. And then many years later, because I started practice Panofka since 2020, and 4 years later, this year 2024, I found these spoken solfeggios, and this is the exercises written purposely just to speak the right pitch name. I used to have that thought, do we need to just to read the solfeggio correctly? So actually, if we are serious about singing, to build our craft, there's a lot of layers to build it up. I am looking into exercise number 2. Now finally I have the time to look into it, and actually it's not so difficult after the Scheherazade polyrhythms, because I already know how to count. I already know what is the underlying subdivision for the main pulse. And now in this exercise, we can see this nested tuplet. I just realized this name called nested tuplet, because in vocal score, we rarely have this type of difficult articulation. Maybe I didn't see enough score before. I am still experimenting with this nested tuplet thing. I just started to look into it. It's very exciting thing to share with you. During the pandemic era, I was doing a lot of Panofka, and then I'm sharing a lot of valuable information about the music, how we sing, how we look at the music. So I think it's time for me to come back to this part of the music. Of course, I'm going to balance out a little bit, go into some more relaxed music. For the upcoming months, I'm going to prepare my Panofka. I am started to preparing, but I have to be more focused and more committed with my practice session. I did a rehearsal with Zhongxing before, but because too many things happening, like too greedy, you want to do so many projects, right? So one thing at a time. Finally, I completed my Scheherazade, Ravel's Asie, and I was thinking make a home recital at home and invite you to come to my place. And would you like to come and watch the Panofka recital? The other thing that is going to happen is in July, we're going to have a music camp for the Retiree-Plorers. So this is also the first time I'm creating a music camp for these senior members. I want to explore them about what music camp looks like. I participated a lot in different music camps, but it doesn't mean that I know how to create it. So I think it's a learning process for me to build up dreaming on music, this empire, my own empire. Yeah, let's learn little bit by little bit. So basically that is all for today that I want to share with you. So I will see you in maybe the next video, next post, next reel, and bye bye.